Der Spiegel is a German weekly news magazine published in Hamburg. It is one of Europe's largest publications of its kind, with a weekly circulation of more than 1 million. It was founded in 1947 by John Chaloner, a British Army officer, and Rudolf Augstein, a former Wehrmacht radio operator who was recognized in 2000 by the International Press Institute as one of the 50 World Press Freedom Heroes. Spiegel Online, the online sibling of Der Spiegel, was launched in 1994 with an independent editorial staff. Typically, the magazine has a content-to-advertising ratio of 2:1. Der Spiegel is known in German-speaking countries mostly for its investigative journalism. It has played a key role in uncovering many political scandals such as the Spiegel scandal in 1962 and the Flick affair in the 1980s. According to The Economist, Der Spiegel is one of continental Europe's most influential magazines. History. The first edition of Der Spiegel was published in Hanover on Saturday, 4 January 1947. Its release was initiated and sponsored by the British Occupational Administration and preceded by a magazine titled Dies Wash, which had first been published in November 1946. After disagreements with the British, the magazine was handed over to Rudolf Augstein as chief editor, and was renamed Der Spiegel. From the first edition in January 1947, Augstein held the position of editor-in-chief, which he retained until his death on November 7, 2002. After 1950, the magazine was owned by Rudolf Augstein and John Chaloner. Chaloner's share merged with Richard Gruner in 1965 to form the publishing company Gruner plus Chaloner. In 1969, Augstein bought out Gruner plus Chaloner for $42 million and became the sole owner of Der Spiegel. In 1971, Gruner plus Chaloner bought back a 25% share in the magazine. In 1974, Augstein restructured the company to make the employees shareholders. All employees with more than 3 years seniority were offered the opportunity to become an associate and participate in the management of the company, as well as in the profits. Since 1952, Der Spiegel has been headquartered in its own building in the Old Town part of Hamburg. Der Spiegel's circulation rose quickly. From 15,000 copies in 1947, it grew to 65,000 in 1948 and 437,000 in 1961. It was nearly 500,000 copies in 1962. By the 1970s, it had reached a plateau at about 900,000 copies. When the German reunification in 1990 made it available to a new readership in former East Germany, the circulation exceeded 1 million. The magazine's influence is based on 2 pillars. Firstly, the moral authority established by investigative journalism since the early years and proven alive by several impressive scoops during the 1980s. Secondly, the economic power of the prolific Spiegel publishing house. Since 1988, it has produced the TV program Spiegel TV, and further diversified during the 1990s. During the second quarter of 1992, the circulation of Der Spiegel was 1.1 million copies. In 1994, Spiegel Online was launched. It has separate and independent editorial staff from Der Spiegel. In 1999, the circulation of Der Spiegel was 1,061,000 copies. Der Spiegel had an average circulation of 1,076,000 copies in 2003. In 2007, the magazine started a new regional supplement in Switzerland. It was the first regional supplement of the magazine which covers 50-page review of Switzerland. In 2010, Der Spiegel was employing the equivalent of 80 full-time fact-checkers, which the Columbia Journalism Review called most likely the world's largest fact-checking operation. The same year it was the third best-selling general interest magazine in Europe with a circulation of 1,016,373 copies. Reception. When Stefanos took over in 1994, the magazine's readers realized that his personality was different from his predecessor. In 2005, a documentary by Stefan Lamby quoted him as follows, "We stand at a very big cannon." Politicians of all stripes who had to deal with the magazine's attention often voiced their disaffection for it. The outspoken conservative Franz Josef Streeck contended that Der Spiegel was the Gestapo of our time. he referred to journalists in general as rats. The Social Democrat Willy Brandt called it Skyerblatt during his term in office as Chancellor. Der Spiegel often produces feature-length articles on problems affecting Germany and describes optional strategies and their risks in depth. The magazine plays the role of the opinion leader in the German press. Investigative journalism. Der Spiegel has a distinctive reputation for revealing political misconduct and scandals. Online Encyclopaedia Britannica emphasizes this quality of the magazine as follows: the magazine is renowned for its aggressive, vigorous, and well-written exposés of government malpractice and scandals. It merited recognition for this as early as 1950, when the federal parliament launched an inquiry into Spiegel's accusations that bribed members of parliament as promoted Bonn over Frankfurt as the seat of West Germany's government. During the Spiegel scandal in 1962, which followed the release of a report about the possibly low state of readiness of the German armed forces, Minister of Defense and conservative figurehead Franz Josef Strauß had Der Spiegel investigated. In the course of this investigation, the editorial offices were raided by police while Rudolf Augstein and other Der Spiegel editors were arrested on charges of treason. Despite a lack of sufficient authority, Strauß even went after the article's author, Konrad Allers, who was consequently arrested in Spain where he was on holiday. When the legal case collapsed, the scandal led to a major shake-up in Chancellor Konrad Adenauer's cabinet and Strauß had to stand down. The affair was generally received as an attack on the freedom of the press. Since then, Der Spiegel has repeatedly played a significant role in revealing political grievances and misdeeds, including the Flick affair. The Spiegel scandal is now remembered for altering the political culture of post-war Germany and with the first mass demonstrations and public protests being a turning point from the older Brichstaat to a modern democracy. In 2010, the magazine supported WikiLeaks in publishing leaked materials from the United States State Department, along with The Guardian, The New York Times, El País, and Le Monde, and in October 2013 with the help of former NSA contractor Edward Snowden unveiled the systematic wiretapping of Chancellor of Germany Angela Merkel's private cell phone over a period of over 10 years at the hands of the National Security Agency's Special Collection Service. The leading role of the magazine in investigative journalism and its monopoly came to end in 2013 since other German media outlets, including One-Quarter-Die Zeitung, Bild, ARD and ZDF, began to effectively deal with political scandals. Criticism. One of the main points of criticism that has been brought against Der Spiegel concerns the use of language in the magazine. In 1957, writer Hans Magnus Enzensberger published his essay Die Sprache des Spiegels, in which he criticized what he called a pretended objectivity. Wolf Schneider, an eminent journalist and stylist, has called Der Spiegel the biggest mangler of the German language, and used quotations from the magazine as examples of inept German in his style guides. Their criticism was not so much one of linguistic aesthetics as an argument that Der Spiegel hides and distorts its actual topics and issues by manipulative semantics and rhetoric rather than by reporting and analyzing them. In 1957, however, Enzensberger admitted in a written statement that no other contemporary German magazine attained the Spiegel's level of objectivity. Opinions about the level of language employed by Der Spiegel changed in the late 1990s. After hiring many of Germany's best feature writers, Der Spiegel has become known for its Edelfedern. The magazine frequently wins the Egon Owen Kisch Prize for the best German feature. Der Spiegel ended up joining the ranks of the guardians of proper grammar and jargon with the Zwiebel Fish Pie column on the magazine's website, which has even produced several best-selling books. Some critics, in particular the media historian Lutz Hatchmaster and the Augstein biographer and former Der Spiegel author Otto K. Paragraph Lehr, have brought charges against the magazine's dealings with former Nazis, even SS officers. Allegedly, Der Spiegel, which at other times showed no restraint when exposing the Nazi past of public figures, distorted history and covered up for criminals after enlisting insiders hired to write about Third Reich topics. Its early reports and serials about the Reichstag fire, written by former SS officers Paul Carroll and Fritz Tobias, have since been considered influential in historiography because since the 1960s the Spiegel reports written by these two authors have been corroborated by authoritative historian Hans Mommsen. According to Franklin Lamb, Der Spiegel harbors a strong pro-Israel bias. Bans. A special March 25 edition of Der Spiegel on Islam was banned in Egypt in April 2008 for publishing material deemed by authorities to be insulting Islam and Prophet Muhammad. Head office. Der Spiegel began moving into its current head office, Hafen City, in September 2011. The facility was designed by Henning Larsen Architects of Denmark. The magazine was previously located in a high-rise building with 8,226 square meters of office space. Editors-in-Chief, 1962–1968, Klaus Jacobi, 1968–1973, Gar 1/4 NT Gauss, 1973–1986, Eric Bar Paragrapham and Johannes K. Engel, 1986–1989, Eric Bar Paragrapham and Werner Funk, 1989–1994, Hans Werner Kiltz and Wolfgang Kaden, 1994–2008, Stefan Ost, 2008–2011, Matthias Mahr 1/4 Lev von Blumenkron and Georg Mascolo, 2011. Euro 2013, Georg Mascolo, 2013. Euro 2014, Wolfgang Bar 1/4 CHNER, January 13, 2015. Euro present, Klaus Brinkber Currency UMA. See also, List of magazines in Germany, List of non-English newspapers with English-language subsections, Spiegel Affair. References. External links, Der Spiegel, printed edition, Der Spiegel cover gallery and archive since 1947, Spiegel Mobile, Spiegel TV magazine.